Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Podcast. I'm Mike Stansbury today. Special guest from Houston, Texas, Rob Trigg. Rob, how are you, sir?
I am doing absolutely great. Not as good as you, but I'm doing great.
Oh, come on now. Well, Rob, we got to pay the bills here first. So, guys, at Investor Fuel, we help real estate investors, service providers, and real estate entrepreneurs 2 to 5x their businesses to allow them to build the businesses they've always wanted and allow them to live the lives they've always dreamed of. Now, Rob, let me ask you this. This is my question for most of my folks. I want to know the origin story. How did you get on the yellow brick road of real estate investing? What were you doing beforehand? Tell me about that.
So I was in the Army for 21 years, made a career out of it. And my brother-in-law, big real estate investor, brought me to Houston, said, hey, we're going to get you involved in this real estate game. And at the end of the day, he kind of got me hooked on it. Kind of worked for him and his company for the latter part of about 8 years, worked my way up there. And, a lot of people recognized what I was doing. And, at the end of the day, I was offered another opportunity and took it. And that's why I'm currently here at King James Lending here in, we're, a little small company out of Seabrook, but we're the number one lender in Houston, and I'm hoping to change that to where we're the number one lender nationwide.
Okay, we got big plans. All right, so tell me, I always like to get to the origin story too. Like, what were you doing in the Army for 21 years? What did that look like?
Well, 5 combat deployments, Afghanistan, Iraq, 21 years of aviation experience, and, just doing different odd jobs, from recruiting to door gunner to, middle, I guess you call it middle management, supervisor, retired as a staff sergeant. And, it's in the military, there's a lot of ups and downs, and a lot of things that you do in a 21 year period that, I could sit here and talk all day about.
Right.
So,
but let me ask you this. So with that experience in the Army, like, what have you taken with you as far as that helps you being as the CEO of the company now and helped you with real estate? How did, what maybe some of the things that you took away from your time in the Army that you brought with you?
Well, correction, I'm the COO, not the
COO.
Yeah, COO.
Yes, sir. Sorry about that. I get dyslexic on Fridays.
Well, I will tell you, in the military, you're kind of like a band of brothers, right? I don't know if you have any family or if you're ever in the military or anything like that, but, you kind of carry that with you throughout your life, because it's like it's ingrained in you for better almost half your life. So when you wake up every day, you got your brother to your right, you got your brother to your left, and you got your guys that are, picking up the rear as well. And I think bringing that mentality to clients, that we're always going to treat you like family, like a band of brothers, and always being there for them and always being able to, say, hey, look, I know you're going through a tough time. I'm not just your lender. I want to be there in the tough times too. I want you to reach out to me when you're having that so that we can work it out together.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
And I take a lot of responsibility for my clients because their success is our success. And at the end of the day, when you can build that, you're unstoppable. When you can build that connection with your clients. And I mean, I've got way over, 200 plus Google reviews of people saying, Rob is the reason I got into real estate, and a lot of testimonials that as well. And I take those things to heart and say, if I'm making that big of an impact on anybody, whether it be one person or 10, then I've accomplished something that I brought from the military.
Yeah. So it offers you to you in 21 years. Obviously, you're very relational because you had your brothers with you, and you took that type of mentality on. And your customers aren't just your customers; they're almost like family. So let me ask you this about your avatar. So tell me about some of the latest folks that you've helped. Maybe you can give me an example of somebody that you helped recently, and maybe something creatively that King James has done. We can get into exactly what King James does as far as the services are offered, but I always love to hear some anecdotal stuff about maybe somebody that you helped recently that you can give an example for us.
Oh, wow. There's so many stories. I'll tell one that's always near and dear to my heart. There was a guy, I won't mention his name. I don't have permission to. We'll call him Alberto, And Alberto, it always sticks in my brain because, when we first met, we kind of had a conflict, and now we're like brothers, because we both kind of had this mentality of, hey, I know I'm the best at what I do, but I needed to see things from his point of view. And I took him as a very, very young investor, and I was able to provide guidance, was also able to get him connected with a certain individual that actually coached, mentored, and got him completely out of his job that he could not stand. Now, I've done that with several investors. I mean, that literally say, Rob, I'm doing this so I can quit my 9-to-5 job. I don't like where I work. This is not where my passion is. And getting those investors to see the potential of what they can make outside of a 9-to-5 job by using, different resources like mentorship and getting them connected with the right people. It's life changing. It really is. I mean, it can change. As long as you're around the right people, your mindset can completely change. I'll tell you a personal story for me. Getting into the right mindset and getting around people that are going to challenge you to do better every single day. I mean, I was closing loans for almost 8 years and never done a fix and flip. Left my previous company, came to this company, and within 30 days, I've already bought, completed, and fixed. And it's on the market right now, my first fix and flip. Now, I've owned rental properties, but not as far as investing, I've never done, a fix and flip. And I did it within the first 30 days of being here. So changing your mindset and being around people that are not going to let you fail, that are not going to accept no for an answer, and are going to push you to the next level, I think that's powerful in being around those people.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
So this is a good testimony for exactly what you said, and for what some of the services you guys provide there in Houston is you don't just provide loans. We were talking earlier before the show started about some of the other services that you, King James, provide. Kind of go over that a little bit. Tell us, especially for those that are in Texas, and I know you're wanting to go nationwide, so maybe these are some of the services that other places in other states can be offered too. But yeah, tell me about those things that you guys offer there locally in Houston.
So we can lend in all 50 states, which is something new. DSCR 30-year loans, something new that we just introduced 3 months ago, is slowly building. We just turned it on and we already got like 5 loans going this month. So, I mean, that's pretty good, just getting the word out and getting people, attracted to that.
Well, hey, I know that you and I know what DSCR loans, but let's say somebody doesn't have. They're like, what does that mean? They've heard that acronym for the first time. I run into this all the time, so I have to act like I'm in 4th grade again. But yeah, tell people what that means.
Oh, a DSCR loan it's a non-stated income loan. Basically, it's a debt service cover ratio loan, which means if your rents are higher than your PITI by at least 1%. And that's not a lot of money. I mean, if you got $1,000 PITI, you literally got to be like $1,060, just to be able to make sure it's cash flowing plus some extra. They don't care about your bank statements usually. They want to see liquidity, but they don't really care, about your W-2s. They don't care about, where you're working. So it's for the investor to be able to hold multiple properties. I don't know if a lot of your viewers will know this, but Freddie and Fannie Mae will cap you out on how many properties that you are allowed to have based off your debt to income ratio, usually is what it goes off of. And when you max that out, it becomes increasingly difficult every property that you get to be able to hold on a conventional loan. So when you run into those problems, you go to a DSCR loan, debt service cover ratio loan, where you can take the income of the property and qualify. Now, you have to have a 680 credit score, 660 in some cases, and you've got to show some investor, background that you've got.
Yeah, little moxie. Yeah.
There's a little processes to it. Now, if you're doing your first one, it's, you're going to pay a little bit more of an extra premium. They will do first time investors, but again, it's all about how many deals you've done, what's your credit score, and how much money do you have in the bank, not your debt to income ratio off your taxes and stuff like that. So it's a very efficient way, in my opinion, to get more rental properties under your portfolio. And you can have as many as you want, 50, 60, 100, 200. I mean, I've got a client right now that he's working on. We're doing like a 5-loan package, and I think this will make his 170th property.
Nice.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, he's like, Rob, I'm going to be your number one client. And I'm like, heck yeah, let's do it, man. Let's do it. So we provide, DSCR loans. We provide fix and flip loans nationwide. I mean, we focus in Texas, and we can lend in Texas a little bit differently than we can outside of Texas. Here in Texas, we are a true loan to value, so I can get you 100% of purchase and 100% of rehab if it falls into a 70% spread inside of Texas in a major populated city like San Antonio, Dallas, Austin, Houston, Tyler, Longview, the bigger cities. Anything rural, we're going to, probably dial that down a little bit, to protect ourselves. But Cabinetry and flooring, if you need it in the local Houston area.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
And I don't know if we worked out the logistics about shipping it to Dallas and San Antonio because we just kind of got this up and going. We got our hands in a lot of stuff that we're just now getting into. We're growing at a rapid rate, and those are just some of the things. Mentorship. We have a weekly meeting here at King James Lending where investors can tune in. It's usually on my Facebook or it's on the owner's Facebook page. They can tune in and learn from other investors. We have 100 people come through the door every week. 100 people that come in, learn, network, close deals right there on the spot. Literally 2 or 3 weeks ago, we had a client that called right before the meeting, said, "Hey, I can't close on this property. I just, I don't feel good about it." We're like, "Dude, this is a great property." He's like, "Look, I'm, keep my earnest money. I'm sorry, I just can't." Well, we announced it at the meeting, said, "Hey, we have this investment property, needs to close on Friday." 2 people in the audience raised their hand and said, "I want it."
Gotta love it.
Yeah, closed.
Yeah.
We closed it in 24 hours.
So when did you? So you guys are doing like monthly networking events there or weekly? Okay, and they're in the house.
In the house.
Okay, yeah. When did you guys start doing that?
The owner has been doing it, I'd say better since it started, really. But we've kind of grown it over the last 3 months to where it is now. Getting a lot more people involved and doing a lot more things. Like after the meeting, we go and do a walkthrough of a local property that's on a fix and flip or something like that and show the progress. And a lot of our investors like that because we can walk them through a real life scenario of where a property is and versus where it was. And that's powerful when you can take a new person and take them in there and they start getting hungry. They're like,
tangible, yeah, something they can eat.
Touch and taste, feel this instead of just seeing it on a PowerPoint presentation or somebody's just sitting up there talking about, "Hey, you can do this, you can do this."
Right. And so, but one of the things that's cool about what I'm hearing is when you say that everything is in-house. So if you have inventory, right, and then somebody has the qualifications and the numbers are right, because you can't sell a property or you can't do a deal unless the numbers work, and you guys wouldn't lend, on it if it weren't numbers working. So you're solving a big issue in the marketplace where, hey, I want to be in real estate, but my number one thing is how do I get financing for it? I have decent credit, but I don't have a lot of cash. I don't have $400,000 to do a deal. And you guys have, hey, we got the solution for that as well.
Yeah. Well, deal flow for any investor, that's going to be the hardest part. And having an honest wholesaling operation where we're not taking all of the meat off the bones. There's a lot of companies out there that, they don't care about the investor. They're out to make
transactional, right?
They're transactional. We're more client-based relationship. If we got to make just $5K on a assignment, just a small little fee, that's great for us. It's great for us because we're building a relationship by putting a client into a property where they can learn on, and B, a loan to where we can coach them through the whole process. Because we help you with draws. We're an educational company to where we're going to educate you to become a real investor, not just sit back and say, "Oh, we're going to teach you," but we're gatekeeping everything.
Right. Yeah.
Our biggest thing is we don't want to gatekeep.
Well, one of the things I heard a long time ago was, you want employees to be loyal, but you want to understand how people need to learn and create, and eventually every employee is going to want to leave you if there's something better, and maybe that something better is, creating their own on their own. And so the fact that you're not gatekeeping is just an indicative of like, hey, we respect you and your ability to learn these processes and then take them on your own and go create for yourself. And I think that validates, what your offer is, and helps people be more, the fact that you're leading from that point of view makes them trust you in a way that most wholesalers are not trustworthy. I always tell people it's the Pareto principle. There's 20% that are awesome, and then the 80% are they really got to figure stuff out.
Yeah.
So
they don't know their comps. They don't know. I mean, so when we get a property in, we sit down and we talk about it. Whether we're going seller direct or somebody that's like another wholesaler that can't get rid of it because they don't have a good reputation, they'll give it to us, and we'll vet it. And we'll say, this is not a deal. We're not going to blast this out to our pool of investors because this is a 80-85% deal. There's no meat on this.
Right.
Go back to the seller and get it lowered, or hey. So at the end of the day, we want to be able to provide good 70-75% deals to where there's enough meat for everybody to be able to feed off of that.
Right.
At the end of the day, if I put you in an 85% deal and you get through it, and it takes you 6 months and everything does not go to plan, you're probably going to owe money.
Right.
At the end of the day.
Yes. I've done that before. I've seen that movie.
Yeah. I probably got tickets.
I got tickets. Yeah. So it's one of those things where you talk to a lot of real estate investors, and if they've done a couple hundred deals, their best stories are their losers. My best stories are my losers, but I didn't. In fact, I always tell people the first deal I ever did, I lost $10K on. And I turned to my wife and I said, "Hey, we're going to do this again."
Yeah.
She was like, "No."
That is a hard conversation right there.
Tough.
Hey, I bet you were sitting there going, like, how am I going to do this?
How am I going to do this? How am I going to say that I learned my lesson when we're in the hole like this? Well, luckily she was a good cheerleader, and she saw us through it. So, and
you need that in your corner. I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
One thing that we also talk about here is having the partner that you have. My wife, James's wife, James is the owner. She's the CFO of the company. You've got to have that significant other that is your cheerleader on the sidelines. That's going, hey, you got this. Don't worry about it. It's going to be okay. I'm not going to be upset if we, take a loss. She's like, I'm going to, be concerned, but I'm not going to be upset. We'll learn from it and move on. You've got to have that.
Gotta have it. It's a beautiful thing, especially when you're in valleys. They're the best in the valleys, and they're always really great too when you're up on the mountaintop. They're cheering with you.
And where are you at?
Memphis, Tennessee.
Oh, okay, Memphis.
Yeah. Yep. So, Rob, where can people find out more about King James Lending, more about you, more about what services you guys provide? If they're listening to this and they're in Texas, what does that look like for you guys?
Well, I mean, you can call me direct. My phone number, I'll answer it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I mean, unless I'm sleeping. I always tell people, don't call me late, but don't call me late for dinner. You can call me late, but don't call me late for dinner. They can go to our website. They can call me direct at 903-806-4400 or rob@kingjamesLending.com. That's rob@kingjamesLending.com. And I mean, we'll sit down and talk to anybody, night or day, Zoom calls, anything to teach people how to do this the right way. That way there's no gatekeeping, and because I've never understood why people in real estate gatekeep so much, because if you're growing, eventually it's all organic. And it's all going to benefit you at some point in time. Like let's just say you're one of my clients, and I don't tell you everything that you want to know. Well, that's going to deter you from going and buying an investment property from somebody that's going to potentially be a loan for me that'll potentially grow the real estate market, because at the end of the day, we're all benefiting. You know, insurance companies get employed, title companies get employed, real estate agents get employed. You've got, you know, your general contractors, you've got your subs. That creates employment. It generates it boosts the economy.
Right.
Each sale, you got to think, each investment property. Think about how many people are involved in a fix and flip. If it's a major rehab, just think about it for a second. You got your subs, you got your general contractors, you got an insurance company, you got a title company, you got a real estate agent, you got probably a lender. You got all these people, and those people hire people, and those people hire people. So your real estate's really the only thing that I know of that can control the destiny of so many people at once. And
Yeah, it does. It has that effect of there's so many parts to it, and there's so many benefits to it. And I like how you say it's a lot of people operate from the scarcity mentality, and it's gatekeeping or scarcity, where they don't share this or they don't share that, and ultimately, I think what that does is it hamstrings relationships.
Yep.
Because one of the things I was taught early, and I didn't operate this principle until later on because I understood it, is you want to give everything away, as your knowledge, everything away, because not everybody's going to take it and run with it. And if they do, great. But most people, when you show them exactly how to do things, they never take action. With that's why I really love y'all's model, is because, hey, we're not just lending. We're going to go and show you, especially some new person, hey, this is how we do draws. I'm going to go over there and check on this with you, and and ask and let you ask me questions about how maybe we've in the past done things, or how this contractor does things, so we can improve your efficiency and improve your bottom line. Not a lot of lenders do that. A lot of lenders are just, they're hands off until they get that, until the first of the month comes and they're ready for their insurance or their premium payment.
Yeah, I've had this conversation with a lot of lenders, a lot of CEOs, a lot of people. They'll call me and be like, "Hey, what are you doing differently than anybody else?" And in the last 4 months, I've had a lot of phone calls about this. What are you doing differently that I could train my guys to do? I said, well, you can't train relationships. I had somebody tell me once, because ever since I started doing this, I'd bring clients over to my house for barbecues and stuff like that. And somebody told me once, it's like, you're wasting your time doing that. It's like, all they're going to do is disappoint you. And I said, you know what? They may disappoint me, but what if they don't? What if the relationship I built with them creates an empire, a real estate empire? What if the bond that we grow together on creates value for not only them, but for other people? They're 5 generations down from, now. Just based off the relationship that we start right now, their great-grandchildren can benefit from. I mean, yeah, people can disappoint you. They can. I mean, it's just human nature. But being scared of disappointment, or being scared of not creating value with each other, I don't want to live like that.
Rob, that is a great place to end it. That's affecting households down the line. I love it. So Rob Trigg with King James Lending. Rob, again, we'll put all the information about how to contact Rob and King James Lending in the show notes below. Thank you for being a part of the Real Estate Pros podcast. Really appreciate your time and getting to know your origin story, and thank you for your service, sir.
Yes,
folks.
sir.
Yes, sir. Watch or like and subscribe. Do all the things they tell you to do on this thing, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.